Ethereum Classic currently sits at about $71. It is quite volatile right now, and we are actually on a bit of an uptrend from the bottom we've seen of $65 earlier in the day. Now, there's a lot we need to go over in this video, from looking over the Grayscale Ethereum Classic Trust ETF, because there are some key details I need to let you guys be aware of that are critically important to signifying how bullish ETC is, because it does look good over there, as well as the hash rate, and we are going to go over the technical analysis in this video. But first, the three things I ask you guys to do is tap, tickle, touch, or smash the like button, as well as subscribe to the channel if you are not already. And the most important thing of all, comment down below. Let me know what you think about ETC. Do you think we're going to continue to sell off? Do you think we're going to stagnate or rip up? Are you scared? Are you happy? Whatever the case is, let me know down below in the comment section. I pretty much respond to every single comment. Now, with that being said, let's get into ETC. I almost did forget though, if you're interested in buy and sell alerts for stocks, options, and crypto, I'm a full-time options trader as well as a crypto trader. Feel free to check out the link down below for the Patreon and get yourself signed up with that. Over the last 2 days, we have made enough in profits alone from a $100 investment to cover this cost for 2 years. So if that's something you're interested in, you can also send me a private message on the Patreon or on the platform that we use for the buy and sell alerts. Taking a look at some price action with ETC as far as what we have done today, we are currently down about 7.5%. We were much lower than this earlier at, like I said, $65.47, down about 14.11%. But this might look bad to you, but it's actually not at all. Look at the past week. We are still consolidating in between this range of about $70 and about $80. So it does look good. It looks like an extended consolidation period, just what I had expected. Now, if you guys are fearful, if you are an ETC investor and you are not in this channel or follow these videos yet, I do recommend you guys watch my video I made a couple days ago. It is titled Exactly Why I'm So Bullish on ETC, and I break it all down for you guys, the biggest reasons I'm so bullish and you should be so bullish on ETC. This is not a short-term trade, so if you are in this to make a short-term gain, this is probably not the crypto to do that. There's a ton of other cryptos that are much better than that, but they don't offer you the same value, utility, and growth that Ethereum Classic does. Now, let's take a look at the hash rate, because this is actually very, very exciting. We're at $27.51, and that is the TH/S, and this has not skipped a beat. Obviously, like I've said in other videos, we have since sold off from our highs, which is gonna be expected. The higher a crypto goes, the more people start to mine it. But the fact we have sold off so far from our highs, which was really just a bit of a short squeeze and a couple other factors that played into that, we have stayed severely elevated. And I say severely, but it's a severely as in a good way. We've been in between a low of 22.5 TH/S, and that was May 24th, but we have since rebounded right back up to our almost, I believe this is all-time highs. I do believe this is all-time highs since we hit our all-time highs as in the coin price. And essentially, this just means the number of people mining on Ethereum Classic, it secures the blockchain and makes it so you really can't do any type of hacks, and it shows a bullish sentiment in ETC, because if you're a miner, why would you mine something and consistently mine something for quite a while now, honestly about a month or two, for it to go down in value in the future? You would not do that. So that is why it is critically important to understand the hash rate and why I watch this so heavily. And now, getting into what days to cover means, because we're going to look at market beat, and this is actually very bullish, but days to cover of between 1 and 4 usually indicates strong positive sentiment and a lack of interest from short sellers. A day to cover above 10 indicates extreme pessimism, short interest as a percentage of float. Below 10% indicates strong positive sentiment. We already know that. Going to the Ethereum Classic Trust, we can see, obviously, we have covered this in other videos, so if you are new, this might be new information to you, it might not be, but they essentially own about 3.6% of ETC coins. So this is quite a indicator to look at. I do like to look at this just because they own so much ETC. Now we're at 6.19 million, and that was May 14th, so it is not updated in quite a while. It's due to update, but we could see that this short volume ratio is up 32.76%, but the share price as of the time they were shorting this was $42. Back to the Robinhood, when we were about $40, this was right before the major squeeze, where it says we hit 149.20 on Robinhood. This was May 6th. We actually went much higher than that to about 190, but there was a bit of a price discrepancy. So if you don't follow these videos, or maybe you aren't on Robinhood, then your high on ETC is probably a lot different than what mine was, because I bought this on Robinhood. Now, what I'm trying to point out here is we have 0 days to cover, and if you know anything about selling shares short, you sell shares on the open market, agree to buy them back. Now, if you don't have enough buyers in that stock, it's going to be really hard to cover your short position, and that is essentially what this is. It is saying if you wanted to cover all the shares short in one day, that is what you could do. Let's say for AMC, take for an example, it's about 6-7 days to cover. If every single short position wanted to cover their positions, it would take 6 to 7 days to fulfill those shares on the open market. So, like, going back to what we said, or what I read to you guys, a day to cover of between 1 and 4 usually indicates strong positive sentiment. So that is key here. This is indicating a strong positive sentiment with ETC. Now, taking a look at the technical analysis, we have been just flatline for a while now. It seems like it's been a long time, but it's really only been about 4 days, and 5 days ago we were in between the $60 range, so we are still elevated above that, and that is really the range that I'm watching for the downside, is about $60. If we do break that, then we're probably going to see some resistance around 55, 54. We had a slight consolidation period right there. It wasn't a high or anything, so it's not a good support level per se, but a better support level is about $50. So I will go ahead and mark the $50 mark, but keep in mind the $55 mark would definitely be a bit of a support even beforehand. And like I pointed out in the video that I just made today as well, I don't think the crypto market is going to crash for an extended period of time. Yes, we could come down to $40 again. Totally possible. Weirder things have happened. But the fact that cryptos have been massively adopted, and the fact we have been consolidating for so long, and a bunch of other factors, you're just gonna have to watch the video if you didn't already. I don't see it happening. I don't see us just cratering for years like people are talking about. Maybe for a month or two or a couple months, but that's really the longest that I do see that happening. And it still stands at about $77 is the key level. That's really where we want to consolidate out at. Besides today, that's where we were consolidating for the past 4 days, and that's where we fell under today. So it'll be key to see if we do go above $77 over this weekend, especially with the volatile weekend. Anything could happen here, but if we do go above 77, that'll be good. And next stop is about $95, maybe a little bit of resistance around 90, but I do think it's about 95 where we will end up finding a base at, like I pretty much have said in multiple videos. Feel like I'm beating a dead cat here, but as far as the moving averages, which is what I really like to watch, we have the 200-day moving average is sitting at $74.95. This does signify a bearish downtrend. We do have a death cross going on where the 50-day moving average crosses under the 200-day moving average, which does signify a bullish downtrend is likely to ensue, but we are not seeing that. We are seeing a consolidation. And keep in mind, technical analysis is only the practice of looking at indicators and prior judgment and knowledge, all these other factors, but trying to figure out what is going to happen next. So it is not a defined science. It's not always going to be the case. And as we can see down here on the MACD, it's actually positive. The CCC line is above the signal line, and we see good inflows right here instead of outflows. And like somebody else pointed out on my stream, the outflows on ETC are getting smaller and smaller. This was obviously before today, earlier in the day, but you can see big, small, smaller. So it'll be interesting to see how that does go. The outflows midday or not too long ago was really small, and we have just seen inflows from there. So I do expect something good to come out of ETC. I don't have too many expectations though as far as what happens. I don't care what happens. I'm holding this to $1,000 regardless of what happens. Now, the RSI is pretty much firmly in the middle. It's a little bit on the more bullish side considering what the price action has been today. We should be down a little further, probably on the lower end of oversold because we're still down. It says 10.42% on Webull. Is that correct? Let's go to the Robinhood. Down 7.86%. So take it how you want it. We're down about 8%. So you'd think the RSI would be down a little bit more, but we are slightly curled up, starting to curl down, but that's not something I would be too concerned about whatsoever. And that is pretty much all we have to add to the technical analysis. I do think we will be range bound in between $60 on the low and 77 on the high. Like I said, if we break 77, then that will obviously look really good if we can firmly break it, because we were consolidating for a long time in between the $77 range, a couple days just super stagnant, and then we did fall under that today. And I just do think it's a lot of people just saying the market's going to be bad, so you freak people out and they start selling. But I would watch the $55 level a little bit, and then I would watch the $50 level even more. So those are going to be your key levels. If we fall under 50, I just don't see it happening. But if we do, then I would watch 40. I'm not even going to mark that on the chart because I really don't expect that to happen. Now, if you guys have not seen the video I posted before this one, then just don't pay any mind to these headlines that are talking negative about cryptos. If you have a long-term outlook, it really doesn't matter what happens, and your investment will do phenomenal over time. So that's really all you need to know. And if you're trying to trade ETC, it's probably not the right coin to try to trade. That is going to wrap it up for this video. Like we have shown in this video, it's pretty much a coin flip. I don't think anything significant is going to come out of this weekend. We could rally up even. We could sell off. It's literally a coin flip. So be prepared. Never scared. Check out the links down below in the description, as well as like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to let me know what you think about ETC going ahead into the future in the comment section. I will see you guys later, and until next time, take care.